So 2026 is right around the corner, and a lot of people are always, setting the New Year's resolutions, creating a bunch of goals, saying they're going to change their life. But I think you can relate to this, and most people will, including myself. I'd set these goals, but they would never be achieved. They would just be blank notes on a page that never actually got fulfilled. And it doesn't really matter if it's going to be 2026 or if tomorrow's Tuesday, Thursday. It doesn't matter. You can do what I'm going to teach you in this video here starting tomorrow. I wouldn't advise waiting until 2026 to hit your goals. I wouldn't drink on New Year's. I wouldn't drink over the holidays, eat a bunch of junk food, and then all of a sudden lock in 2026 when January 1st hits. Because at the end of the day, it's just a day on the calendar. You have to do the daily habits every day, starting now, if you actually want to see results. So today we're talking about the Great Lock-In, kind of a fun name. 2026, the Great Lock-In. If you guys really want to achieve your goals, your life, change your life, this is definitely the video for you. But at the end of the day, this video is not for everyone. This isn't for guys who aren't willing to sacrifice, aren't willing to go to the next level, aren't willing to adapt and change their mindsets, and ultimately sacrifice what they currently like to get to the next level. So the reality is, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to achieve high goals that you write down, you're going to have to live a lifestyle that supports those goals, right? Think about an athlete who's training for a big game. They're not just going to lay around, eat a bunch of junk food, and then show up and all of a sudden be an amazing player. That's just not the reality. They put in the work every single day. And you have to be the same. You need to live a lifestyle that's going to directly support the goals you want to hit. You will need to sacrifice things you currently enjoy or rely on. This is where it gets to the point where a lot of you guys watching this video right now will click off, or a lot of you guys at this point aren't going to be able to do this. To sacrifice some things that you enjoy or you just rely on at this point, like nicotine, junk food, energy drinks, stuff like that. And then you're going to have to enjoy being uncomfortable and confident in taking a path that does not align with the social norms. So here's the reality. Disclaimer. Everything in this video might not be anything you've heard before. It might not be things you necessarily want to do. It might not sound the most appetizing, but what it will do is it's going to help you achieve your high goals. So if you want to be a next level guy, if you want to be elite and better, then keep watching. So we're going to start off with what I used to look like before I implemented the lifestyle habits and disciplines and practices that I do now. These are just some old pictures of what I used to be like. So skinny, soy boy, zero confidence, pale, not appealing. This, for example, was freshman year of high school. That was a while ago. This was like 2 Thanksgivings ago, maybe last Thanksgiving. Actually, it was last Thanksgiving. So about a year ago. Inflamed, slight acne, shit haircut, depression. I mean, just not too much. This was like 4 months ago, by the way. This is when I low-key was at my lowest before I locked in. This was about 4.5 months ago. You can see a slight acne, decent structure, definitely inflamed, eating a really shit diet. Not a lot of hope in my eyes, to be honest. So this was at one of the lowest points. This is right before I locked in. I remember taking this picture. I threw out all the bullshit I was doing. Changed my life. So this is kind of what I look like then versus now. Big difference, by the way. I'm not inflamed anymore. Oh, jeez. Freshman year of college, drinking every weekend, smoking weed every weekend, actually every day. No sleep, poor nutrition. I played on a college lacrosse team, so at least I was staying in shape, but I was just malnourished. And then this was senior year of high school. Pale, skinny fat, awful. So all of those have this in common. I was skinny fat before I locked in, brain fog, like throughout the day. I just wasn't able to lock in and think. Relied on a lot of artificial dopamine, which we'll dive into later on what that means. Had a lot of anxiety and depression. I was lazy and had zero self-confidence at the end of the day. So as you can see, all of this was before I locked in and started doing the steps that I'm going to show you in this video. Now, after I did the steps, for the past 4 months, really locking in, Now, I've been in the self-improvement ever since, obviously, freshman year of high school, but I didn't know everything I know now. So let's start with this. Going from this 4 months ago to locking in, this is what I look like now. This was yesterday, pre-Christmas lift. Don't even look natty even more, even though I am. Look like I'm on steroids, insane biceps. Back mass is absurd. This was like a week ago. Insane pump, just because I'm getting the right nutrients right now. Face structure is a lot better. Yeah, I got eye black and this ski mask on. We were playing like football or something. It was like a month ago. A lot better bone structure, symmetrical face, just because I'm not inflamed. Once again, the proof's in the pudding. Locking in got me this, and this, and this, and veins. So after implementing all the steps that are in this video, I got jacked and shredded. I'm highly motivated now. No need for artificial dopamine, and I guess I'll give a quick example. I don't need energy drinks to get excited or energized or have motivation now. A lot of self-confidence. I mean, I'm making this video. I'm very efficient, and we'll go over that in the lifestyle section, journaling, jotting down notes, building momentum in winning. So what does it take to go from this, all this crap, to looking like this? Well, it's going to take optimizing your lifestyle, training, and diet. Those are the three main pillars. And then we can do this by eliminating negative habits and replacing them with real dopamine habits, which I'll explain in the first section. But first, let's start with, are you even willing to set a new standard? This is going to be a long video. And if you aren't willing to do some of these things, this whole video is going to be a waste. You can't just pick one thing out of this video. Yeah, you might see minimal results from just doing one part of this video, but if you don't do the whole video, you're not going to see the insane results that I've seen. So, are you willing to set the new standard? The new standard is very simple. No junk food, no cheap food, no settling for less, no alcohol, no smoking, no skipping gym. No excuses. I should have put no excuses on here, but that kind of relates to no settling for less and no skipping gym. No excuses. No junk food, obviously, because you got to think about this. Take average advice, you're going to get average results. So if you listen to your friends and family who think they know what's best for you, yeah, they love you, but at the end of the day, are they jacked and shredded and rich? Probably not. So don't take their advice. Also, don't take average advice from people that, if you don't want to be like someone, why would you take their advice? You know, treat food as fuel. It's not pleasure, and you are what you eat. I used to eat for pleasure all the time, like going to Cane's, eating sugary foods, eating bullshit. But if you look at your food as fuel, you're not going to put any shitty gas in the tank. Weak body is a weak mind. Your stomach, your second brain, 100%. 100%. Once I've cleaned my diet up, my brain got a lot better. I think that's the biggest thing I saw. No brain fog, super efficient, super dialed, super motivated. And then you're the sum of your 5 closest friends. Here's the reality. A lot of you guys, if you do these new standards, especially the no alcohol, no smoking, you're going to lose out friends. Or you're going to, what's the best word? You're going to move on from your friends. You're going to outgrow your friends. That's what I meant to say. You're going to outgrow your friends. If you do this new standard, you might outgrow your family. And that's the reality. But you are the sum of your 5 closest friends, like your friends are now. They're all losers. They do loser activities. I mean, do you want to be like them? Do you want to be like everyone else? Because here's some questions you need to ponder. If doctors are right, why is the obesity rate at an all-time high? Why are divorce rates at an all-time high? Maybe because all of society does these things. Maybe everyone eats junk food and has a shitty physique, so their wives no longer respect them. Maybe the cheap food they eat gives them brain fog and they can't achieve more and their wife leaves them. Maybe they keep settling for less. They miss out on big opportunities to take the next level in their life because they're okay with being content and they don't want to be uncomfortable. And then their wife leaves them. No alcohol, no smoking. It's like, these are just a waste of time. Really. I've been drinking a long, long time. Used to drink every weekend in college. Don't see the point in it anymore. No skipping gym. If you skip the gym, you're just skipping out on a chance to make your mind better. Giving into, I'll just not do it today. You're making your mind weaker, not your body. So, really ponder these questions. Why is the obesity rate so high? And why are divorce rates so high? Men are weak. So, you have to be all in. That's the reality. It's all about being all in. You're either all in or all out. It's not one half foot in. I think the biggest issue, here's the thing, guys. Let's go back up here quick. Decent physique, decent than most people, decent. Like, this is all decent. I don't look awful. Definitely compared to me now, I look awful, but this is all because I wasn't all in. I was doing some things right, but I wasn't doing everything right. I wasn't fully in. Now, I'm getting close to being all in. I would consider all of this insane improvement from this, all because I did this new standard. I followed these rules. I pondered these questions because that's your why. I don't want to be obese, and I don't want to be in a divorce when I grow up. And it's all in your control because you control your life and your inputs, so you got to be all in. So now we're going to dive into the pillars. Okay? So the first one that's super important that will make the next two easier is we're going to talk about addiction hacking. Now, what might that mean? A lot of people see addiction as a bad thing. Now, it's obviously connotated with bad things like drugs, alcohol, nicotine, and stuff. So a lot of people think addiction is always bad. It really can't be that bad, because today we'll go over dopamine loading. We need to train our brains. I had to train my brain to find hard tasks enjoyable, because if you're going to take the next step and achieve the high goals you want to achieve, you're going to have to enjoy the grind. You're going to have to master the mundane, the boring stuff, because that's what's going to get you to the next level. That's what's going to, if you stay consistent doing that stuff for months straight, for years straight, for your life, and you find hard tasks enjoyable, you're going to be happy and you're just going to be freaking firing. So obviously the general crowd is binge eating and scrolling TikTok for stimulation. But the reality is it's artificial stimulation. You're not working hard for the reward. When you wake up in the morning and you just scroll your phone on TikTok and you're getting dopamine, you didn't work hard for that. So then the rest of the day seems really hard. You know, if you go outside and walk. Like, here's the thing. I go outside and walk all the time without my phone. But when I first started doing it 4 months ago, it was hard because I wanted to look at my phone. That's what happens when you just go for artificial stimulation. And then, yeah, it's going to lead to real dopamine feeling boring and hard. So artificial dopamine, super simple. It's anything, honestly, it could be anything that's under, you don't work hard for it and it gives you some type of pleasure. Junk food, you don't have to work hard. You eat it, you feel good, then you feel like shit. Porn, don't have to work hard. It's on your phone, it's free. You can watch it, you feel good in the moment, then you feel like shit after. TV, Netflix streaming, don't have to work hard for it. Feels good, but then you're not getting shit done. Social media scrolling, super easy. Gives you dopamine. Colors, flashes, pop-ups, whatever. Makes you feel like shit after brain fog. So we need to start enjoying this stuff. Real dopamine. Work and training at the gym. Working on your business. Working on spiritual goals. Working on emotional goals. Eating clean. Not eating bullshit. Eating eggs, beef, some fruits. Avoiding temptation. Lust, like porn. Parties on the weekends. Drinking. Avoiding that stuff. And then getting early sleep. All of these are going to give you real dopamine. And you're just going to feel a lot better. Because the thing is, all this stuff feels great and then it's sustainable. All this stuff feels good in the moment, but then it deteriorates right after because you feel like shit. Any guy watching this video can't tell me after they eat junk food they feel good. They don't. Any guy watching this video, watching porn and then nutting and then getting the post-on clarity and feeling shit after, can't tell me they feel good. They're lying. Anyone that just binges shows every day, every night, and doesn't get shit done and gets poor sleep, can't tell me they feel good. Anyone who just scrolls on social media all day can't tell me they feel good or are successful. So we need to do this stuff. This is what's going to help us get our goals, because this is what's going to keep us efficient. What's the solution, though? Because it's very hard to go from doing cheap dopamine, all of these tasks, the artificial dopamine. What's the solution? How do we enjoy doing this? Well, here's what we're going to do. This is what I did. Slowly cut out artificial dopamine while tracking them. I want you guys to get a journal, and I want you to track all the bad habits you do in a day. Write them down, write how many times you do them, at what time in the day, and maybe you'll start to see a pattern. Maybe you scroll TikTok every single morning. So fix that by, and then we'll jump to the last step, track progress in a journal or notes app, and then use self-talk to your advantage. So I'll kind of give an example of how this looks. So, for example, slowly cut out artificial dopamine while tracking them. Let's say your bad habit is getting up and instantly scrolling TikTok on your phone right after you wake up. So instead of doing that, when you wake up in the morning, use self-talk, be like, hey, well, tracking them, sorry, a lot of travel, brains everywhere. So let's say you write in your journal. Okay, every morning I scroll TikTok. That's an issue I have. It's a bad habit. So use your self-talk when you wake up. Hey, I have a bad habit. This is giving me brain fog. I'm getting instant dopamine early. The first light I'm looking at is blue light, artificial light, not the sunlight, so my circadian rhythm's off. I'm not getting anything done in bed laying. I might as well get up and start the day so I can build momentum to have a successful day, and then a successful week, and then a successful month, and then so on. Track the progress in a journal or notes app. Okay, I didn't scroll TikTok this morning because I talked to myself. I told myself, hey, quit being a little bitch, and then write that down. And then that's a habit you slowly break. Now, let's say you watch porn. Okay, you might slowly start to cut it out. Track it. Okay, maybe you do it every day after work. But talk to yourself, hey, I do this every day after work. It's a really bad habit that makes me not be able to talk to girls and not respect women, and lowers my testosterone, stresses me out, makes me feel like shit after. Then I get nothing done. Then I eat junk food. Then I try to pleasure myself with fake things. So, okay, I didn't watch any porn today. I'm going to write that down. Good job to myself. Use self-talk to your advantage. Are you going to look crazy? Sure. But I don't want to look like everyone else, so I'm going to do my own thing. So here's what I did. So let's start with this. So once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, etc. This was like for junk food. I would start to have a cheat meal once a week. Okay. Then I was like, well, kind of tastes like shit. I feel like shit after having a cheat meal, so I'm just going to do it once every 2 weeks. Okay, I feel like really shitty after because I'm not used to this food. I'm just do it once a month, I guess. And then, why would you do it once a month? That doesn't even make sense. You don't do it 29 days out of the month. Why am I going to cheat one day? It makes zero sense. So then you rewired your brain to think, okay, I don't need this habit. It's bullshit. And then, yeah, here's some of the examples with the self-talk I use. Like eating, like if I'm at the store, I'm in a rush and I need to eat something at the gas station, I'll look at the ingredients and be like, eating this will blah, blah, blah. And I'll look at the ingredients like, okay, if I drink this energy drink that has sucralose in it, it's going to inflame my gut and I'm going to get acne. Doing this is so low test. So this is kind of a cheesy one, but it's true. Like if I'm staying up late or if I'm scrolling my phone or something, I'm like, this is actually just so low test. I'm wasting time. It's so low test. And I'll just say to myself and I'll move on. Why would I do what everyone else does? That's what I always think when sometimes in my brain I'm like, oh, maybe I want to go party, maybe I want to go to the bars, whatever. But why would I do what everyone else does? It doesn't make sense because everyone else is fat and the obesity rates are super high, divorce rates are super high, and barely any guys have six packs nowadays. So why would I do what everyone else does? Daily journal. I've been daily journaling for about a year. Absolutely changed my life. For me personally, when I'm actually writing stuff down, and I feel like I have control over my mind, my emotions, so I've been able to control my emotions more. I had a lot of emotional issues and trauma I had to get over, and journaling definitely helps. So I recommend journaling for everyone because at the end of the day, journaling is going to help with this stuff because you want to track the artificial dopamine you're doing and then track the progress you're making. Because once you start to read and you write down and you actually see progress you've made, you're like, this is kind of fun. And that's where the addiction part comes into this. So here's a journal example. This is what I'd write. This is an extreme example, but yesterday I hit the snooze, then scrolled on my phone in bed, drink an energy drink right away because you shouldn't drink caffeine right when you wake up. You got to wait 2 hours. But today I woke up before my alarm, made my bed, got sunlight before checking my phone, and got hydrated. So that's kind of what your journal should look like. You should have like entries like this every day. You obviously want to go more intense. Like yesterday, I did this at this time, this time, this time, this time. These are the bad habits I did. This is how I avoided these habits, blah, blah, blah. Right? Build momentum. So in the end, controlling what type of dopamine you consume will lead to you getting addicted to hard tasks the same way you were once addicted, oops, I meant to do an E, to the feeling of artificial dopamine tasks like consuming junk food or watching porn. I get the same amount of dopamine I would from when I used to do these bullshit activities than I do now when I go outside and walk for 30 minutes and just get nature. And that's real dopamine. Real dopamine is working out, eating clean. And I would much rather do that than do any of the bullshit I used to do. That's the reality. Become addicted to actual, real, hard task dopamine, and you don't even look back. That's the thing. You don't even look back. I don't even look back on the old junk food. I don't miss it. I don't miss porn. I don't miss junk food. I don't miss drinking on the weekends, partying, because it just was making me worse. It was just making me worse. Part 2, lifestyle maxing. The reality is it's not about adding things on. It's about eliminating things you currently do. So, for example, most guys drink, most guys party, most guys play video games, most guys vape, most guys do a bunch of bullshit. And it's not about adding crazy things on like, oh, wake up at 4 a.m., do cold showers, go on insane runs. It's actually about eliminating the things you currently do. So you might spend a lot of time on social media. I used to a lot. You might get an inconsistent sleep. This is something I still struggle with, but definitely not better. You might still consume cheap dopamine. You might party on the weekends. You might avoid uncomfortable moments, like opportunities to grow. You might just go into a shell, not take advantage of them. That's just because you're low test, etc. So let's look at this. I'll show you some of my bad habits. This is me freshman year of college, doing some bullshit, partying, drinking, playing a bullshit game. I had my shirt off. That I was tough, bro. I used to drink hella energy drinks back when I worked construction. This was my lunch. I didn't eat food. Actually, I maybe had like a jerky stick, but 3 energy drinks, bro. It's probably not even including the one I had in the morning. Playing video games. Yeah, it was fun for the while it lasted, but then I grew up. I don't know. Bad habits, scrolling, poor sleep, partying, sleeping in, avoiding nature. These are all bad habits in your lifestyle that you're not going to achieve any of your goals in 2026 or any life goals in general if you're doing these things consistently. They're just going to get in your way, lead to brain fog, lead to distractions, because the man distracted a man is a man defeated. So, good habits. Avoiding your phone, sleep schedule, nature journal. These are amazing habits to have. If you do these every day and you find enjoyment in them and you start to like them and you actually do them, they make insane changes in your life. You're more relaxed, your cortisol levels are a lot better when you do these. I love nature. I love going on walks and just taking in God's creation, smelling the air. Like I'll walk around and I'll like try to get all my 5 senses. Like I'll feel the wind. I'll smell the air, smell the river, hear the noise the leaves make when I'm stepping on them, or any of the wind, the way it hits the bristles. You know, what do I taste? I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll go in the lake and get a little taste. I don't know. Okay, I'm just kidding, but smell amazing smells. Just walking on trails, just beautiful, just going in nature, bro. Just get off. Yeah, I took these on my phone because I track my steps, but I'm not just scrolling my phone while I walk. And then right here is my journal. This is me dialed in with the wife. Absolutely dialed here, doing the journal. Got my ambient music on, getting shit done. Got the vein here because I have veins all day just because I eat healthy, so. Don't do any of these bad habits, do these good habits. So the solution if you do bad habits is you need to have routines. You need to journal daily. You need to be present. Presence is a big thing. I think being present is one of the things most influencers don't talk about. When you're talking to people, it could be anyone. Talk to them like they freaking matter, because they do. I love talking to people. I love making eye contact and nodding and smiling and then using their name and actually listening to what they're saying, because when you do that, you feel good because you're just like, some people just need positive interaction. So you're going around constantly like representing Christ by just being present with people, and you know, who knows what opportunities it could lead for you. But at the end of the day, it makes me feel better. I love talking to people because I have no idea what's going on in their life. Maybe they just need a conversation, someone to listen to them. So that's awesome because it makes you feel good. Building momentum goes to the routines. For example, waking up, making your bed. Actually, I think I have an example in here. Checking off tasks. When you actually write down tasks and you check them off, it's like a freaking video game. It tricks your mind into liking hard dopamine. Positive self-talk. Always be talking positive. I talk to myself all day. People think I'm crazy, but it's the way to keep me going. And then understand the bigger picture. It's not about you. Not every guy wants to get married or have kids, but let's say you're just all business. Like, it's not all about you. If you create a big business, you represent a lot of people. You're gonna have a lot of employees who have lives or outside of work, who have families and stuff, and you have to be on your grind working a business like that so they can have money to provide for their families, like if it's your business. But most of you guys want to have wives or have a wife and kids. Like, I want to freaking have kids and I want to be the best husband ever. And that's the bigger picture. That's why doing all these things obviously help me out, but the bigger picture is it's going to help my family out in my bloodline. So here's what I did. So I have an insane morning routine. Wake up, don't scroll, make the bed, hydrate. I always have a water ready in the fridge. And then I go outside and I walk for like 30 to 35 minutes or 45 minutes. And then I'll check my phone, my email, and all that stuff and get to work. I have a daily journal everything in the morning and at night. I cut out all the weekend activities. Don't drink anymore, don't party, don't go to bars. It's all bullshit. I've been working on the sleep schedule. This is the one thing I'm lacking in. But these blue light glasses have helped. I've replaced artificial dopamine which is basically, I got rid of the partying, got rid of the scrolling, social media, all that stuff. And then I've been stacking momentum. That helps with the journaling. Just, make the bed. Then you get up, you accomplish something. You didn't scroll your phone. That was a hard task. You're getting real dopamine from that. And then you keep building momentum. Then obviously I have a night routine as well, which is super simple. Take a shower, nice warm shower, have these on, turn screens off, read, slump. So, morning routine, let's just look at this quick. I wake up, I make my bed, I hydrate, I walk for 45 minutes, getting sunlight, setting the circadian rhythm, hydrate a little bit more, then I posture stretch, and then I start with my hardest task, which is usually schooling or training. I drink a coffee 2 hours after waking up, and then I check my phone after my morning walk. And doing all this, my cortisol level is lower, a lot less stress, no brain fog, and I'm getting more shit done. So in the end, your lifestyle will directly impact if your goals will be achieved or not. Lock in on the mundane tasks, the boring stuff, making the bed, eating the good food, getting the sleep, doing the trainings. Just keep master that, get addicted to it, and you'll stack wins and momentum and build. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Gotta be ready. Gotta be ready to be uncomfortable. It's gonna be uncomfortable, going on a walk without your phone at first. It's gonna be uncomfortable, eating foods that you're not used to eating, or just health foods, not eating any sugar. Be ready for backlash. A lot of people aren't going to understand your journey. People tell me all the time I'm unhealthy because all I eat is beef and eggs. Oh, your cholesterol's too high. Okay, you don't understand anything about health. There's 2 types of cholesterol, and the cholesterol I have is actually good for you. A lot of people are like, oh, you're boring. You live a boring lifestyle. It must be super boring, not doing anything fun. That's what society wants you to believe. If you listen to doctors and then the government, and you listen to all the people above you who tell you to drink, it's fine, eat all this bullshit. Why? And once again, it goes back to the question, why are obesity rates so high? Why are anxiety and depression so high? Why are divorce rates so high? So why would I do what everyone else does if that's what the reality becomes for everyone else? Doesn't make any sense. So be ready for the backlash, because not everyone's going to understand your journey. All right, so training and diet maxing. Last pillar. Diet is the most important factor. Training will help you master your mind. For your physical benefits, you honestly don't even need to lift. If you're a guy who just doesn't want to lift, honestly, don't do it. Walk and eat clean, and you'll be chilling. Yeah, you're not going to get jacked, but you'll be shredded. But the thing, honestly, the reason I train the most is I just enjoy it, for one. It's kind of became like a therapeutical thing for me, but it masters your mind. You're beating your mind by driving to the gym, getting out of the car, going in, working out, doing the hard reps, going, and not quitting. You're training your mind to enjoy hard dopamine. And then from that point, then you can do other things easier. The thing about the gym is it's not just about getting muscles. It's not just about getting strong. It's actually about making your mental strength higher so you can do other tasks in your life. Like big millionaires, they're not working out to look good, maybe a little bit, but they're working out for their mind. Most guys have the training down. I had the training down. The thing with the training is it doesn't really matter too much. Time under tension, progressive overload, important recovery. But if you have if you lack in the kitchen and recovery section of self-improvement, you must master both to see results. You have to be eating clean and getting a recovery that actually see results from training. So here's some false statements. All protein is the same. Calories in, calories out. Hard cardio, probably like jogging and like crazy elliptical bikes, burn fat. These are all false. All protein is actually not the same. I used to eat a lot of protein powders, protein shakes, protein cookies. Bullshit. Protein scams are bullshit. Your gut does not know how to process it. It is not bioavailable protein. Calories in, calories out is bullshit. Sure, you can eat Twinkies all day and you're going to lose weight, but you're going to be skinny fat and have terrible mindset because you're getting absolutely no micronutrients or nutrition. So calories are just bullshit. Ignore them. If you just eat clean and live active and walk, don't worry about calories. Hard cardio burns fat. False. If your body's super stressed, it's just going to eat away at muscle and then store fat. So don't do that. Here's some true statements. High quality food matters. Grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, organic stuff so there's no pesticides. All that stuff matters. Hormones outweigh calories. If you have insane hormones, high testosterone, your hormones are working efficiently. It doesn't really matter about calories because you're just going to be jacked and shredded. Walking is the only cardio you need. Walking and Stairmaster. Stairmaster like 3 times a week you can do, but walking is the only cardio you should do to burn fat. Your body's super relaxed, can actually eat away at body fat, and you're not going to be stressed out in putting on any fat. So let's optimize it. Understand what you consume. You need to understand what you're consuming. You need to get more knowledge about the nutrition. I'll make videos on it, but you need to understand the stuff you're consuming. Read the ingredients. If you don't know what they're doing to you, don't eat it. That's why it's easy. Just eat whole foods that are one ingredient because you don't have to worry about that. So understand what you consume, what it's doing for you, and then you'll make better food choices. Cut out all the BS, junk food, energy drinks, protein powders, all bullshit. Walk 10K steps daily. You'll be shredded. Track your progress. You can do it on your phone. I do it with a Cal AI app. I take a picture and just tells me the basics. It's not necessarily about tracking calories. It's about getting an approximate on protein and fat. And then just like if I take pictures of my food, I don't want to take pictures of like a muffin. So I'm not going to eat it, like, because I take pictures of everything I eat. I'm not going to eat bullshit then. I don't want a picture of it in my camera roll. It goes against everything I stand for. So yeah, track your progress. Have a vision. Have a vision of what you really want to look like. What is your dream body? What's your dream goal? What's your dream, like, facial features? What's your dream back? I mean, like, have a vision and then be like, okay, if I eat super clean, I'm going to get to this vision. But if I eat junk food, then I'm not going to get to the vision. Food is feel. You need to understand that. Food is not pleasure. It's like everything I eat, like, I enjoy. But don't look at it as pure pleasure. Then you're just going to eat crumble cookie and get fat. Food is feel. Treat it that way. So here's what I did. I started tracking my food with the Cal app, like I just said. I track all my steps. I eat a very light breakfast. Then I fast. I mean, the thing with fasting is, like, anything under 24 hours isn't really a fast. You're not going to get any of the results. So, like, there's no reason to fast till, like, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So I eat a really light breakfast, like 3 eggs. Just like not to have too high cortisol. I think I function better when I just have, like, 3 eggs right away in the morning. And then, quote unquote, fast until, like, 1 or 2. And then have my first big meal. My second big meal, which we'll go down. Write down your vision of what your body wants to look like or what your mindset wants to look like. Have a vision so then you understand, okay, if I eat junk food, I'm not getting closer to my vision. Have a good sleep schedule. This is going to help with your recovery as well as hydrating, and then no energy drinks. Guys, cut them out. I used to love them. Obviously, I showed you the picture. Energy drinks were awesome. They taste really good, but the sucralose and the artificial caffeine is just tearing up gut and doing a lot more harm than you understand. So here's a daily template of what I eat. So I'll just show you some pictures. Spring water, pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed beef. Grass-fed beef, ground elk. Elk's awesome. Any venison or elk is awesome because they just live in the wild and then they get hunted. That's like the best ever because they just live out in nature and they live their life. They're not, contained in anything. Pasture-raised eggs. Eat on the cutting board for aesthetics. You got like probably 5 pasture-raised eggs, pound of beef, and then I think some avocado in there. Avocado's the only fruit I really have nowadays. So the breakfast, 3 eggs over easy with a black coffee, and that's after I walk, so it's like 2 hours after I wake up. My first meal of the day is red meat, pound of red meat, steak, whatever, 6 eggs, avocado. And then the sweet potato I only have every night before leg day, so take that with a grain of salt. Speaking of salt, I don't have salt. I get enough for my meat. Red meat again, another pound or half a pound, depending on if I'm trying to bulk up or cut. Right now I'm currently doing 2 because it's the winter, so 2 pounds a day. 6 eggs, 12 eggs a day. Oh, wait. 3 eggs, 9. I do 6 and then 3 for this one. Yep, my bad. Because it's usually just 6 and 6, but I started doing 3 in the morning. And then frozen fruit before the lift is something I kind of do just for a little. It depends on the day. If I'm like super low energy, then I will, but most days I don't. Here's some raw milk, coffee with butter in it. Butter is going to help with the release of the caffeine, slower in your system, you won't spike. Beef stew meat from a local farm, venison stick in there with the eggs, and then the staple, beef and eggs. It's awesome. Here's my split. The thing with split doesn't matter. Consistency and diet are what actually matters. So Monday I do legs, Tuesday's chest, shoulders, buys, Wednesday is back, tries, Thursday is a rest day, Friday's legs, Saturday is full upper body, and then rest Sunday. 2 rest days a week. Rest days are important. Eventually I'm going to work down to just working out 4 days a week, and I'm going to do more calisthenics and less weight movement. So in the end, if you do the small things right, you can do the big things a lot easier. Your stomach's your second brain. You are what you eat. Do not overtrain. I used to lift like 3 times a day. That's bullshit. Prioritize recovery and sleep, and you're going to get jacked and shredded fast. So, in the end, are you ready? Are you ready to go from here to here, to elevate? I mean, are you ready to get freaking jacked and shredded like I became? I went from soy boy, skinny fat, loser to being someone, bro. to changing my mind. But are you ready? Are you ready to cut out the bullshit? Are you ready to make sacrifices? Are you ready to get to the next level? And will you stay consistent? Are you just gonna be the guy that does for a week and pussies out? I mean, at the end of the day, you have to stay consistent with all the things in this video if you want to see quick results. Everyone's like, oh, I want quick results. This is the way they do it. Consistent daily work. And then you get addicted to it. Guys, you need to recognize this isn't a week thing. This isn't a month thing. You're not going to do all these things for a month and then be jacked and shredded and then stop doing them. You get addicted to it and it becomes your life. So are you ready? Are you ready? Habits take about a month to form. Good or bad? Good or bad? Bad habits probably take less than a month to form. So don't do any bad habits. Do the good habits. Do it for a month, and then eventually you're going to realize you do it for a month, and you're going to look back at your old self and be like, man, why would I even want to do junk food? Why would I want to party? Why would I make myself worse? What are your goals? Write them down. And how will you achieve them? Do everything in this video. Do this lifestyle. Do you even want it? That's what it comes down to. Thank you guys for watching. This is a really good video for you guys. Hope you guys got a lot of great insight on this. Hopefully you were taking some notes, something like that, so you can actually do this. Comment below your goals. If you made it to this far, your goals for 2026. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.